Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll explain line composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey on revisiting the banks of Wye during a tour July 13, 1798 by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth from 1770 to 1850 was a renowned English romantic poet, best known for his celebration of nature and his pioneering contributions to the romantic movement. He was famous for his works like Line Composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey and I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, also known as Daffodils. His most influential work, Lyrical Ballad, in 1798 marked a turning point in English poetry, emphasizing the power of nature and the importance of individual experience. Moving to the poem's introduction. Now, this poem is a lyrical poem written in 1798. It was part of a lyrical ballad co-authored with St. Coleridge. This ballad marked the beginning of the English Romantic movement. This poem was written at the revisit of Wye Valley, a place where he first saw 5 years earlier, and its impact on his soul. This poem discusses the Wordsworth philosophy of healing and spiritual power of nature, its impact on human soul. This poem is a contrast of youthful exuberance with the mature and sober introspection. Okay, this poem is written in blank verse and a meditative tone, and also this poem gives a very philosophic insight. Now, for the understanding of that title, focus on this picture. In this picture, you can see mountains, you can see a building, and you can see a river. Okay, now this building is Tintern Abbey. Tintern means ruined. Okay, and Abbey means a collection of a group of buildings in which there is a convent, there is a church, a cathedral. So now focus on the title, lines composed a few miles above. So you can say the writer was here somewhere in these mountains, a few miles above Tintern Abbey, on revisiting the banks of Wye River, this River Wye, revisiting because he visited this same place 5 years ago in 1793 when he was 23 years ago, 23 years of age. So now he's revisiting this place in July 13, 1798. Okay. 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters. Now I'm saying that 5 years have passed since I visited this place last time, as I've earlier discussed that he visited this place, this River Wye, this Tintern Abbey in 1793, and now he's visiting after 5 years in 1798. So he's saying that 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters. Now he's saying that 5 long winters because winters are very long and very harsh in England, so he's calling winter very long. And again, I hear these water rolling from the mountains, spraying with soft inland murmur. Now he's giving us a beautiful imagery of water. Imagery is a literary device that involves the use of vivid and descriptive language to create sensory experience for the reader. It appeals to the five senses sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch to evoke mental image, emotions, and atmosphere. So in these lines, poet is creating image in front of our eyes of water flowing down from the mountains with a soft, very beautiful background music and a very beautiful scenario. So, moving forward, once again do I behold these steep and lofty cliffs, another imagery, and he's telling us that there are very steep and very large, very tall cliffs, mountains that on a wild, secluded scene impress thoughts of more deep seclusion. He's saying that this area is secluded and these tall cliffs are made this make more secluded. It looks more secluded because there are tall mountains, tall cliffs all around, so it looks more secluded. And he said that this scene impressed thoughts of more seclusion. This scene impressed the thoughts. It doesn't. I'm not feeling lonely and isolated here, and I'm not feeling sad here, but I'm feeling empowered here. I'm feeling safe and happy here. So it's not bad seclusion and connects the landscape with the quiet of the sky. And it's saying that this landscape, beautiful grass and landscape, and then there are tall and lofty cliffs, and these cliffs are connecting this landscape to the sky because they are so tall. So he's giving us that beautiful imagery of cliffs in this paragraph. The day is come when I again repose here under this dark sycamore and view these plots of cottage ground, these orchard tufts. Now he's saying that he's happy. And he's saying that today is the day when I can again rest under this sycamore. This sycamore is a fig tree. So a fig tree. Now he's saying that I could again rest under this fig tree, and he's happy that I could again enjoy this nature and view these cottages and this garden, which at this season, and this is the season of July of early summer, and there are unripe fruits because this is early summer, and are clad in one green hue, and everything's green because unripe fruits are green, garden is green, trees are green, everything is green, and lose themselves mid grooves and copses. And lose themselves mean every boundaries are blurred between the trees because everything is green, and it looks like there's a painting, and the paint blurred the colors between the trees, boundaries between the trees, and everything is green. Now these mid grooves and copses are also small trees. Once again, I see these hedgerows, hardly hedgerows. Now, these hedgerows are small bushes or small shrubs that people use to create boundaries around their fields or around their houses. So he says that these I can see this hedgerow. Now he's enjoying. He's giving us the imagery and he's enjoying the nature once again. These lines of sportive woods run wild. Now he's saying that these hedgerows are going wild because no one is there, no garden is there to curate them, to give them any line. So they are totally uncorrupted by the people, they are totally natural, so they are wild. These pastoral farms. Now this is the picture. This is the scenario around Tintern Abbey. I could not get the total picture of green hue, but you can see the trees, the bushes, here the grass here, and even here you can see that there is a blurred picture that you cannot differentiate between the trees. So there is that's the same when he says that they lose themselves. Green to the very door. Now he's talking about the hedgerows, that these hedgerows are extended to the doors of the cottages, of some cottages that are present in that green area, because no one is there to cut those hedgerows, so they are not very in a straight line, so they grow wherever you want to, so they are even to the extended to the doors. And the wreath of the smoke sent up in silence from among the trees. Now he's noticing some smoke in the trees, and he's going to guess that where the smoke is coming from. With some uncertain notice, it might seem of vagrant dwellers in the houseless woods. Now he's saying that in some with uncertain notice that it's not very noticing smoke, not a very much smoky, a little bit of smoke, and he's guessing that there must be some vagrant dwellers, some homeless people in the woods who are lighting something and they smoke, or some hermit cave. The hermits are a person who live away from the civilization in the nature, and where by his fire the hermit sits alone, and he's saying that the hermit fires something and he's sitting alone and he's meditating something and he's firing something, so from there the smoke is coming. These beauteous forms. Now, what beauteous form? That the images that he just gave us, the water, the mountains, the wood, the cottage, the smoke, the greenery, everything. Through a long absence, the absence of 5 years, have not been to me as is a landscape to a blind man's eyes. Now, he's saying that landscape is not to me as something to a blind man's eye. Now, everything to blind, everything, nothing affects to blind man's eye. Okay, so he's saying that this landscape has a very lasting impact to me throughout these 5 years. Okay, and the blind man cannot get affected by anything. So that's an example of simile. Simile is a literary device that make a direct comparison between two different things using the words like or as to highlight similarities. Now, in these lines, Wordsworth is comparing himself to the blind man by using the word as is a landscape. So that's an example of simile. But often in lonely rooms. Now he's going to tell that how these experience had an impact on him, but often in lonely rooms in the past, in often he was sitting in lonely rooms and mid in the din of town and cities in the middle of the day in the town and cities have owed to them owed to these memories of this beautiful scenario. How he owed to this scenario in hours of weariness when he was tired of that materialistic words. Sensation sweet, the sweet memories of this scenario felt in the blood and felt along the heart. Now, this blood and heart shows that they had a very emotional and spiritual connection with the nature and passing even to my purer mind. Now, first to blood, emotional, physical connection, then heart, emotional fulfillment, and then to purer mind, a spiritual awakening. Now, that's kind of a chain reaction of those memories. Now, he's saying that these chain reaction occur with these memories. Now, these memories has a very lasting impact on him, very deep impact on him. First he felt in blood, then in heart, and then in mind, with the tranquil restoration, and then the feeling of that restoration. With tranquil restoration, I was saying that when I was back from this play 5 years ago, and life was tough and very harsh. Whenever I was tired from the life, I remind these memories, and it fills my heart and blood and mind with spiritual awakening. And then I was restored, and I was peaceful again, feeling two of unremembered pleasures I had pleasures with remembering this, such perhaps as have no slight or trivial influence on that best portion of a good man's life. These unremembered pleasures are those moments that a person don't even remember after an experience, okay? But they have pleasure on a person. So he's saying that those unremembered pleasures still have a slight or trivial influence on him, and it helped him to become a good man in his life. So nature give him lessons to become a good man. His, on what acts of a good man? His little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love. These are his acts of his small acts, his good man qualities, small little acts of kindness which give him satisfactions, and this satisfaction is his reward of a good man. No less, I trust to them. I may have owed another gift. Now he's going to describe another gift of nature, of aspect more sublime, which is more elevated. That blessed mood, a mood which nature gave him whenever he recalled those memories, in which the burden of the mystery in which the heavy and weary weight, okay, the mood in which the burden of the mystery of the existence, mystery of the complexes of life, and which the very weights of the this materialistic worlds are lightened. Okay, that mood whenever you call, everything is faded away of all this unintangible world is lightened. Now, Wordsworth is saying that with the help of that blessed mood, nature lightened our weary weight and burden of the mystery, and all the questions of the existence are all answered. Okay, that serene and blessed mood. Because of this serene and blessed mood, this weight is lightened, in which the affections gently lead us on. Now, this serene and blessed mood lead us on, guide us affectionately, gently throughout our life until the breath of this corporeal frame, this breath, till when? Till the last breath of this physical body and even the motion of our human blood almost suspended. Okay, till our death. This blessed mood, this nature lead us on gently. Okay, till our death. We are all laid asleep in body until we are all dead and become a living soul, and our soul become awakened, okay, and become free, while with an eye made quiet by the power of harmony, and it become one with the nature, one become harmonious with the nature and could see the nature more freely, okay, and with the deep power of joy. Now we could see the power of joy of nature, okay, see, because we could see the nature more freely. It's a gift for the soul that it's out from the body, and now it's free from the life. We see into the life of things. Now the soul could see that beyond the physical things. It could see the essence of the life. It could see the purpose and meaning of the things. if this be but a vain belief. Now he's saying that if this could happen, but this is all imagination, and he's know that he's acknowledging that. Yet, oh, how often in darkness and amid the many shapes of joyless daylight, he's saying that how many in how many days and amid how many joyless days. They're usually days of the city life, in the state of restlessness of city life, when the fretful stare unprofitable. Now, this fretful stare can be an allusion of French Revolution. Allusion is a literary device which refers to a reference to a person, place, event, or work of art, literature, or history that is not explicitly mentioned but is understood through context. Now, this fretful state could be the allusion to the French Revolution, and he's calling French Revolution fretful and unprofitable because Wordsworth himself was included in the enthusiast, who was very happy about the promises of the French Revolution, and its disillusionment at the end proved itself unprofitable. And the fever of the birds and the other anxieties and tensions of the world have hung upon the beatings of my heart, were very heavy upon his heart, and ruined the peaceful heart of himself. How often in spirit I have turned to thee. Now, thee here could be the nature, and thee here could be the O Selvan Wye. Thee here could be the Wye River. Now, it's his philosophy I have discussed in the introduction. You must have heard that it's his philosophy that recalling those memories have a healing impact. So, the wanderer through the woods. How often has my spirit turned to thee? Now, the river must have wandered through the woods and valleys, and he's saying that my spirits turn to thee in these fretful times. An apostrophe is a rhetorical device in which the speaker addresses to someone or something that is not present or cannot respond, often in a direct or emotional way. So, the Wordsworth, when Wordsworth addressed to the Sylvan Y, that's an example of apostrophe because he was directly talking to the Y who cannot be able to respond. Personification is a literary device in which human qualities are attributed to non-human things, animals, or abstract concepts. It's done in order to communicate or evoke the deeper emotional response in the readers. So, in this line, the human quality of listening was attributed to the river Wye. The Wordsworth, that's also an example of personification. And now, with the gleams of half-extinguished thought, with many recognitions dim and faint, now he's saying that I don't remember everything, every element very clearly and very perfectly. Some things faded from my memory, obviously. Every recognitions are dim and faint. And somewhat of sad perplexity. Now he's saying that I'm somewhat sad because I forget some things, and the picture of my mind revives again. And with that sad perplexity, the picture of my mind is reviving because we all know that when we are standing at that point again, we recall that things. Where here, when why here I stand not only with a sense of pleasant pleasure, I am happy because I'm present here, but with the pleasing thoughts that in this moment there is life and food for the future year. Okay, with the previous visit, I have healing thoughts for the 5 years, and now with this visit, I have healing thoughts and spiritual thoughts for the rest of my life. So I'm happy for both of these things, for the present and for the future year, and so I dare to hope. Okay. Though changed, no doubt, from what I was when first I came along these hills, now is acknowledging that no doubt I'm changed from the time when I first came to these hills, when like a row abounded over the mountains, by the sides of the deep rivers and the lonely streams, wherever the nature led, more like a man flying from something that he dreads than men who sought the things he loved. He's saying that when I came here first, I was only 23 years old, and at that time, I was only used to run and jump and roam around here at the rivers, or the mountains, or streams, and everything because I used to love the nature at that time, but I also used to fly over the things at that time. Okay, the co- for the okay, the course of pleasure of my boyish days and their glad animal movements are gone by. Now he's saying that harsher, that pleasures of my boyish days are gone now. Okay, now there's animal movements, because what animals do, they have these instinct reactions. Okay, and they only have enjoyment on their physical level, not refined, and they only used to run and play. Okay, and they don't see things deeply, and that's what Wordsworth used to do 5 years ago. Okay, for nature then to me was all in all. Okay, the nature for me was what I was seeing on the surface level. Okay, I could not paint what then I was. He's saying that I could not even imagine the difference between the me 5 years ago and the me right now. Okay, the sounding cataract haunted me like a passion. He's saying that this cataract, this waterfall, this small waterfall, had a very thrilling feeling for me in the tall rocks, the mountain, and the deep, gloomy world. Was like a simply nature, and I enjoyed it. Their color, their forms were then to be an appetite, a very attraction for me. I longed for this nature, but a feeling and a love they had no need for a remoter charm. He's saying that I had attraction for these things. I recall these things. I longed for these things. I loved these things, but I loved only the surface things. Okay, I loved only the surface attractions, not any interest unboarded from the eye. I don't had any interest the things which are not which I cannot see with my naked eye. Okay, now he can observe the things which is unboarded from the eye. Now he could observe the things that if the smoke is coming, there could be a hermit, there could be a homeless person, there could be this thing or this thing. Okay, now at that time, if there's a smoke, then okay, there's a smoke for him. Okay, that's the meaning. That's the difference. That's the contrast. Contrast refer to the act of comparing two or more things in order to highlight their differences. That time is past, and all its aching joys are now no more. Now saying that all its the time, its pains, its happiness, all is past now. And all its dizzy raptures, all its careless nature is past now. Not for this faint eye. Now he's saying that I don't have any regrets that I lose my former careless, carefree self. Why? No more normal. I don't mourn over that. Other gifts have followed because I have other gifts. For such loss, I would believe abundant recompense. I have abundant, more than enough compensation for that, more than enough reward for that. For I have learned to look on nature not in the hour of thoughtless youth, as I've earlier do thoughtlessly in my youth, thoughtlessly look at the nature now, but hearing often the still sad music of humanity. Now this is very strange moment of poetry. That's the reason this was the lyrical ballad was the mm, inspiration for the poetry. He's saying that the sad music. Now, first of all, he's saying that the sad music is necessary. We should enjoy, we should experience sad things. Why? Because once we enjoy sad things, we'll able to understand the humanity. No harsh, no grating. Now he's talking about the sad music. That's those sadness is not hurting me. Though of ample power to chasten and subdue, that sadness is giving me the enough power to discipline and to get mature. So that sadness is necessary to get mature. And I have felt a presence that disturbed me with the joy of elevated thought. Now is saying that I have experienced, I feel some invisible, inspiring thought in myself. Now that invisible, inspiring thought of nature in my mind that answer my questions and give me some elevated thoughts and sublime thoughts of something far more deeply interfused. Now he's in the next stage of relationship with nature. That he's saying that nature is deeply interfused with me, mixed with me, blended with me. That is why nature is giving him sublime and elevated thoughts. Now in next line he's giving about to give us examples of nature in general, whose dwelling is in the light of setting sun, and the round ocean, and the living air, and the blue sky, and in the mid of man, and motion, and the spirit that impels all living things. Okay, so all that are connected by the spirit, and are connected by a life force, and that life force is the nature. Okay, so where were we? All objects of all thoughts and rules through all things. Therefore, am I still a lover of the meadows and the woods and the mountains and all that we behold from this green earth and all of the mighty world. Now he's saying that everything that is from this earth and that is from this nature, and I love that because I love this nature and everything from this nature, and I love all those things which I've listed in this all these lines. Okay, and of all the mighty world of eye and ear, both what they have create and what perceive. Now he's saying that whatever we see with our eyes and whatever we hear with our ear are what are half what we half see and half hear, and the rest of the story is created by our mind. Okay, so what we have perceived and have created. Well pleased to recognize in nature and the language of the sense the anchor of my being. Now he's saying that I'm well pleased, I'm very grateful, I'm very happy to acknowledge, to recognize that the language of my sense is in nature. Okay, now he's listing that the gifts of the nature, the language of his senses, the anchor of my spirit soul, the nurse, the guide, the guardian of my heart, the soul, and all of my moral beings. Now he's saying that the nature is the mother, the nurturing soul, not physically, but the morally too. Okay, and he has given completely himself to the nature. Nature is the guardian soul for him, the fountain of his thought, and everything for him. Okay, so he's personifying nature to everything. Now, stanza number 5. Nor perchance, if I were not thus taught, should I deed more suffer my genial spirits to decay. Now he's saying that if nature does not taught me all these things to be a good man, I will, my genial spirits myself would be die. I would decay. I would be very bad person. I would suffer to be a bad person. Now he's saying that nature taught me everything. For thou art with me here upon the banks of this fair river. Now he's talking to his sister Dorothy, who was accompanying him in his second visit, and it was first visit of Dorothy. He's talking to Dorothy and saying that thou art with me here upon the banks of this fair river of the River Wye. Though my dearest friend, my dear friend. Now this repetition shows the excitement and their connection, her love for her, his love for his sister. And in thy voice, I catch the language of my former heart. Now, because it was first visit of Dorothy, and saying that in thy former heart, in thy happiness, in thy excitement, I could see my former heart and read my former pleasure in the shooting lights. Okay, shooting lights of thy wild eyes. Now he's saying that in thy eyes I could see my excitement, I could see my pleasures of myself 5 years ago. Oh, yet a little while may I behold in thee what I was once, because I could see myself what I was once. Dear sister, again the repetition which shows his love for his sister. And this prayer I make now is praying for her, knowing that nature never did betray the heart that loved her. Now he's saying that nature never betray whoever whoever loved nature, and I love nature, nature never betray me. Now you are loving nature, nature will never betray you. This her privilege through all the years of this our life to lead from joy to joy. And he's saying that the lover of nature have this privilege that nature guide them to their spiritual experience from joy to joy. The spiritual experience, the nature lead them, the nature guide them throughout their life. For she can so inform the mind that is within us. Okay, he's saying that nature can fortify our mind, nature can mold our mind that is within us. So impressed with quietness and beauty, nature can impress our mind. It could impress our mind with the peace, and it could change our thoughts, and so feed with lofty thoughts that neither evil tongue. So he's saying that it could fill our minds with the beautiful, pleasant thoughts, lofty thoughts that neither the evil tongue rash judgments, nor the sneers of the selfish man, nor greetings where no kindness is, nor all the dreary intercourse of the daily life shall never prevail against us or disturb our cheerful faith. Now he's saying that anything, any of these things which he listed, anything Nature will protect us from these harsh things, okay? And it will give us the beautiful image of the world. Nothing of these things could disturb our faith on world, okay? We will always see, we'll always witness the beauty in the in the world, whatever happens in the world with us, okay? That all which we behold is full of blessing. Now this will be our faith throughout our lives if we love nature, that whatever we behold is full of blessings. Okay, that we are equipped with nature, we are equipped with the memories of nature, and that is a blessing. We are grateful for that, and no harsh judgment could change our perception. Therefore, let the moon shine on thee in thy solitary walk, and let the misty mountain winds be free to blow against thee. Okay, so he's saying that let enjoy the nature in the solitary walks in the mountains. Okay, in the winds. And in the after years, when these wild ecstasies shall be matured, and saying that when you will also be matured as I am mature, into a sober pleasure as mine turn into sober pleasure, when your will be turned into a sober pleasure, when thy mind shall be a mention for all lonely forms, when your mind will be able to see nature as a beauteous forms as I could see at that time, thy memory be as a dwelling place for all the sweet sounds and harmonies. In thy memory will also be as a residence place, also be a home for all the sweet and harmonies of nature, for all the memories of nature which you will be, which you will see in all these years. Okay, that will reside in your mind. Oh, then, if solitude or fear or pain or grief should be thy portion, if any of these things happens with you, with what healing thoughts of tender joy will thou remember me? Okay, then you will remember me with the healing thoughts. Okay, and these exhaustion and my these advices. Okay, so you will remember if or any of this fear, pain, or grief happens to you, you will remember me with the healing thoughts, and remember me and my advices with the healing thought, because I'm your brother and you love me. So if you recall me, it will heal you. Nor perchance if I shall be where I no more can hear. So he's saying that if I'll be dead, thy voice can catch from thy wild eyes these gleams of past existence. Now he's saying that if I'll be dead and I could not be able to hear your voice and I could not be able to see your these shiny, beautiful eyes, wilt thou then forget that on the banks of this delightful stream we stood together? He's saying that could you be able to forget this beautiful moment that we stood there, because this moment is immortal. We could not be able to forget this, and I'm advising you that don't forget. He just said that I will give you advices. Now this is the advice, that don't forget this moment. This will heal you in all the pains and griefs, and that I so long a worshipper of nature, and is calling himself a worshipper of nature, either came unwearied in that service, saying that I'll always draw inspiration from nature as I'm doing right now, and I'll always do unwearied. I'll be untired of this service, and he's calling this a service as is something religious. Okay, rather say with warmer love. Oh, with far deeper zeal of holier love. Now he's saying that I have this passion of this holier love. He's giving these beautiful words to this his love for nature, the worship, the service, the holier love. Nor wilt thou then forget then that after many wanderings, many years of absence, these steep woods and lofty cliffs and these green pastoral landscapes were to me more dear both for themselves and for thy sake. Now he's saying that I've came to this place after many years, and these steps, these cliffs, these pastoral landscape were dear to me, not for myself, because this is the gifts for the rest of my life, for my future years, but for thyself too, because this is the gift for thy future years also. Because when you will feel pain, grief in future years, this will heal you too. So that's the end of the point. These are some of the things of the poem which I've explained side by side in the poem. If you have any question regarding the explanation, you can ask in the comments below and give your suggestion about the next poem to explain. Please like and share the video and also subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of the next video.